Today I'd like to welcome Moshe Toledo from Trimark Computer Systems. Today he's going to show us how he has set up signature capture for counter sales using UnForm DocFlow.
So we doing a standard invoice for a customer. We go in the normal way and we create an invoice for however many items they need. Then right now I'm in a quote. I'm going to convert that into an order. Once it's in an order, I can go ahead and before I print it, I type the letters RVW for the customer to review.
Right.
So at that point, this same copy comes up both on my screen and on the iPad on the customer side. At that point, the customer can review his order. He could select to sign. He uses his finger to sign. He hits done, and he says finished. On our end, at that point, we could put up who was actually here. We type their name in, and we say finish. And as soon as I hit finish, it archives the invoice. At that point, I can just go ahead now and print the invoice.
Okay. So basically, what we did was, since those were point of sales clients, we created three users called PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4 for point of sale. So in UnForm, she created all those users. That's step number one. And we made them all DocFlow users. Yeah, I think we made them all DocFlow users. Okay. So basically we created a user for them because this was for point of sale purpose. Then what we did was when we went to DocFlow, and we created roles for everybody, PS1 through PS4. Then before we created a role, we created a flow for all of them. We created a flow called counter. Basically, we created counter one, that's a flow, and there is parameters where we define the company name so that when the DocFlow for launch will have the company name, the company logo, and then these other ones, right now we are not printing those copies, but you can set up printers and different different rule files. But right now we kind of left it more in default. The only thing I changed was this company name and company logo. Then we have steps. We call it signing step, which we attached it to a role. Now, if you go to counter 2, it's a little bit reverse, but we attached it to a role. And then there is fields that what the signer needs to see. So in this case, they are going to be seeing their name, and you can capture the name through the rule file, and also their email address. And also, it shows you if they want to print a copy or they want to send that signed copy as an email, to the signer. So those are the fields that you set up. Now there is two different ways to do it. One of them, when the signer sees, in this example, the signer sees all these different fields that they can send an email and they can print it. But in this example, the signer just signs it and sends the email. They are pretty much the same. So those are really the setting up that you need to do DocFlow. Scripting, the only scripting we did, again, was to pick up the name from the rule file. Scripting here, we are picking up the S name from here. You see there we are bringing the name from a variable called S name, and we are printing it. So when the signer comes in, he sees the name already automatically on the signed document. Let me go back to show you the rule file. Okay, this is the section that, depending on the operator ID, we send it to an ArcFlow variable depending on the counters. And that's the part that we use to assign the ID with the ArcFlow ID. So the ID that from the ARP towards the ArcFlow ID. So that's what we do. And also we store the pickup name so that the person who is picking it up, that's going to be signing, their name is going to appear in the signature. Those are the changes that I did in the rules. There is a document that Alan wrote, he published this, that explains all, I kind of learned from there. Okay, let me explain you the architecture. When you are in the point of sale station, basically you have two iPads or two tablets. One tablet is in front of the customer. The other tablet is in front of the operator or of the salesperson. The way we did it within the ERP, when the guy enters his invoice, at the end they have a review option. As soon as they do review, that invoice will pop up in front of the signer. The signer will review it, will sign it, and it will say finish signing. At that point, the operator sees in his tablet the signed copy and will say finish signing, means that it's all approved. At that point, it goes to the archive. Basically, what happens is you have two shortcuts on the browser. One will start up the signer, the other one will start up the approval process. So you have always those two browsers open on the tablet. And then whenever the ERP tells them, okay, execute that rule file, and that's point, everything starts. So the goal of this was to save the signature on a point of sale situation of a customer instead of signing it on paper and then storing the paper.
It's not important what the software that they're using, the ERP, because you could do this with any software.
Yeah, you can do it with any ERP as long as you attach the terminal to the DocFlow ID.
Thank you very much, Moshe. If you'd like to learn more about signature capture using UnForm DocFlow, please email us at sales@synergetic-data.com.